go. The madness, it's
ready.
upon us. March
We're ready.
Madness. That is Selection Sunday is this weekend. I'll bet you knew that. The excitement is building. You feel it? As the fans get ready to break out those brackets, Jim Nantz will be right in the middle of the action again. He has led the play-by-play announcer for CBS Sports and Turner Sports coverage of the NCAA tournament. This is his 25th year of calling the Final Four. Jim Nantz, good morning.
Yeah, go. Let's go. I heard the music, ready to fill out some brackets. You know,
25
everybody gets,
years.
Yeah.
Aren't you back where you started in Indianapolis? Isn't that when you did the
That's
first
where I called
one?
my first championship. I had hosted the Final Four for 5 years before that, but Indianapolis is a great host city. I can't wait to get it started this weekend.
Is this a good year for the Final Four?
Oh,
you got Kentucky
well, you
on
got
perhaps a historic run.
Terrific stories. I mean, starting with Kentucky, undefeated at this point, going into the SEC tournament, 31-0. If they win out, they would be 40-0.
How unusual is that, Jim?
Hasn't happened since '76 in Indiana, so very rare. Last year we had an undefeated team going into the tournament, but it was Wichita State, and Kentucky ended up beating them in a very close game. So Kentucky is loaded. That's the first story, I think, going into this tournament everyone's watching.
They've had some difficult games. They've come from behind a number of times. Who could beat them?
Well, I think that with this tournament,
Duke.
you know, he's setting me up for that. He's got his Duke tie on. But you know, that would be, I think, in a lot of regards, the dream final would be Duke and Kentucky, and certainly Duke would be capable of beating them. But in this tournament, I'm not going to say that, you know, there's other teams out there for sure that could beat them.
Like who?
Well, you know, like Wisconsin. Wisconsin last year had them down to the wire in the Final Four, and they basically got their entire team back. Yeah. Wisconsin's an interesting case, by the way. You bring them up because they are trying to move up to that one line to be a one seed, so they don't go to Kentucky's bracket and meet in the regionals.
But they would need Cleveland.
Cleveland's going to be where Kentucky's going to go. Its path to get to Indianapolis will be Louisville the first week, then Cleveland. All short trips for them from Lexington and then on to Indianapolis if it works out right.
You talk about teams that might be able to beat Kentucky. I think it's Wisconsin potentially, right, Chip? Potentially. Potentially Virginia.
Villanova's on a roll. Notre Dame's a little bit of a upstart and maybe an underdog at this point. He sounds like he should be my analyst, Jeff. I mean, you're all over it.
I'm in.
You know, I've got Bill Raftery.
But we need to do this. Let's get your projections.
My final, my number one seed projections. Gail was putting me on the spot a minute ago. I'm going to say at this moment.
Jim Nantz, you were never put on the spot. Take that back.
You're right. But at this moment, and it's fluid. It's going to change with the conference tournaments this week. But if they all won out, it would go this way. If one of them, well, Kentucky's a lock, and I think Duke's a lock is a one. But let's say Virginia doesn't win the ACC tournament, or Villanova stumbles in its conference tournament, and Wisconsin wins the Big Ten, I'm going to move them up to that line. But at this moment, those are my projections. I'm going to talk like it's November around here.
But part of March Madness are the upsets, the surprise, the Cinderella. Who do you see?
It makes the tournament special.
Do you have any predictions about that?
You want me to pick one of those way out there, like Manhattan got in the tournament last night, and there are others out. North Florida's going for the first time. It's kind of hard to say at this point that they're going to pull off an upset until you see the games, but there are teams out there, I think we have a list of them, that are credentialed. Some would view them as underdogs. Those who know college basketball know they're legit, like Northern Iowa. They've been ranked all season long. Butler was in the championship game in 2010. Wichita State, they're back. They're good again. And you can see that this is a list here that they could be dangerous and win games.
Will Tiger play in the Masters?
I think he will. I think a big thing to watch is this Friday. He would have to, by Friday at 6 o'clock, commit to the next week's tournament, which is Arnold Palmer's event. I think he would need, it's not a must, but I think he would need one more tournament to play in, see where his game is before the Masters. I hope so.
Though, as we were talking about, he came back a couple years ago.
2010.
Yes, and did finish fourth and didn't play a tournament before the Masters then.
And made a run at the title there.
Yeah.
March Madness and the Masters. It's a great stretch coming up.
We don't have enough time to ask you about Syracuse.
Well, we'll do it next
Chris
time.
Licht is very upset about that.
We love Jim Nantz.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Bye,
CBS Sports
love you right
coverage
back.
of Selection Sunday begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That is this Sunday right here on CBS.